Safety Act that the Senate passed last week. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, incredibly important that we actually pay attention to what's happening online and give parents more ability to be able to control what their kids see and what their kids have access to. Every child that has a phone in their hand now that goes online has access to unlimited amounts of all kinds of information, whether it be pornography or bullying or all those things that are coming at them at all ages. The social media companies have the capacity to be able to assure that children have a different standard of what's actually coming to them than adults do. They're choosing not to do it, and parents don't have full control to be able to manage that. So this is simply giving parents more ability to be able to manage what's coming at their kids. They can leave all boundaries off if they choose to, or they can tighten those down if they choose to, but they need to have that ability to do it.
Can you talk a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, so social media companies can actually do verification on ages for those folks that are actually coming in, so that they're going to be able to sign up to be able to get online. They can still do that. They can still get online, but they've got to go through certain hoops to be able to do that, to be able to start the process, to know what information comes to you. Right now, we know, for instance, on TikTok, that if you sign up and you create an account saying you're a 13-year-old girl, you're going to start getting all kinds of information come at you that they choose to be able to send to you that is derogatory and deals with real mental health issues for a lot of these kids with the stuff that are being shot at them by some of these companies like TikTok. So for this, we want to be able to make sure that we're setting standards, much like we do for movies or other things, to be able to get a rating on it and what's actually coming at that child. Give the parents the ability to be able to turn the volume up and down for their kid and what they're actually seeing, but also let's allow our kids to be kids and not have to force them into an adult world while they're still 12, 13 years old.
Excellent. And I want to change topics real quick. There's a lot of conflict going on at the State Department of Education with the Superintendent Ryan Walters. Can you just kind of speak to that? I'm sure you've been following.
Yeah, I've been following it as a spectator. Obviously, in the federal office, I'm not the first person that actually engages in that. It's our state legislators and our governor and other folks that will engage in that. There's a loft investigation, which is going through some of the financing issues right now of federal funds that came to the state for school security, that there are pragmatic questions, just say, how is this being spent? Is it being spent correctly? All federal dollars we track as well to be able to make sure that those federal funds, when they're coming to the state or a kind of entity, that they're actually being used appropriately and wisely as well. So right now the legislature is asking questions about how dollars are being spent, especially if something as important as school safety issues, and to be able to make sure that's being done correctly.
Can you talk about his approach to local superintendents and the way that he's calling them liars and clowns and that type of thing in a press conference? And he's the umbrella, if you will, over all of the school districts, and he says he's looking out for children, but then he's turning around speaking about superintendents that way. What are your comments on that?
So we have very different styles than a lot of folks that are around in national and some in state politics as well. That I find I can move ideas most by engaging with people in a respectful dialogue and say, when we disagree, let's sit down and get a chance to be able to work it out. I come from a biblical perspective that if I disagree with someone, Matthew 18 says, I sit down with them as an individual. If I don't, then I take a couple of those with me before I do anything publicly. I find that's a better way to be able to resolve issues, is to be able to do it in a biblical perspective, to be able to respect someone enough to say, if we disagree, we're going to sit down and try to find a way to work it out. And if we can't, then we'll start elevating it up from there rather than start at top volume and to be able to work down. That creates less stir and, quite frankly, more opportunities for reconciliation for me. My family is a family of educators. My mom was a lifelong educator. My degree was in secondary education. My other members of my family are in education. It's really important to me to be able to affirm educators and education, because we want more people to be able to go into that field and to say that's something that people respect. And I want to go into a field that people actually respect and enjoy, because it has such an incredible impact, lifelong, for individuals. So let's continue to be able to encourage teachers and superintendents. Let's hold us all of ourselves to a very high standard in that role, because we want to have high standards for that. But let's also encourage more people to engage.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Senator.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that you disagree with, I've been watching the Democratic National Convention, and something has come up a couple of times, which is this bipartisan immigration bill that you were a key part in trying to push through. I'm wondering, what do you think of that being used kind of now as a bit of a political football?
Yeah, it has been a political football to me. It's been interesting for Vice President Harris is talking often about that bipartisan bill. She was never at the table negotiating that, which was interesting because the administration had tapped her a long time ago to deal with root causes of immigration, to deal with immigration issues in the border. She didn't on that, and even in the negotiations, she or her staff were never a part of the negotiation. Now she's coming back and saying that was a great bill and was supportive of it, and I thought it would have been good to be able to have her at the table or her team at the table when even we were trying to be able to work through to be able to get it done. At the end of the day, our border is still very open, though the numbers have come down some at the border. That is still wide open by the thousands. We're talking 3,000 and 4,000 people a day that are coming across. We're still well over 1.5 million people this year that are expected to cross over the border illegally. Those numbers are not coming down to any kind of level that we've seen historically at all. So for me, we still have a major problem. The administration still could take action on that. And if Vice President Harris wants to talk about that border bill, great, but she could do action right now to be able to engage, to be able to dramatically reduce the numbers. And if she doesn't want to reduce the numbers the same level that President Trump had it, at least go back to the President Obama numbers. Under President Obama, we had 500,000 people a year. The Biden administration has regularly had 2.5 million people illegally crossing a year. So it's not just a partisan issue, it's an application of law issue they're choosing not to do. And they're trying to say, if only we had more law, this would get better. We do need more law in that area, clearly, but they're not even enforcing the law that they have currently.
All right. You said something similar in an interview you gave to the New York Times. I hope you don't shoot the messenger on this one.
No, it's
but
fine.
I have to ask you that the Washington Examiner had I'd say pretty harsh response to that. I'm wondering if you've read that, if you have any response to that.
I actually haven't read that. Amazingly enough, I don't read through all media in all areas of everything they say about me. It's not good for my soul long term to be able to go online and to be able to see all of that. My mom also gave me advice to never believe all the press out there about you one way or the other. But I've not seen it. I would only say to you, it's been interesting just the spin that I have seen in some places about what the immigration bill was and what it was not. Mm-hmm. There was always this number of 5,000. They let 5,000 people in a day before it did anything, which is completely false. The very first person that came across the border every day, they were arrested. They had a brand new screening process that was very rapid, and they were deported because very few people actually qualify for asylum. Somewhere around 3% of the people that go through the asylum process actually qualify. So our goal was to not have that qualification 10 years later, but to have that qualification at the border. So in the process we were trying to create, they cross the border, be arrested, quickly screened, quickly deported. If we got to 5,000 people crossing a day, we don't have time, we don't have staff to be able to manage processing that many people, so we would just arrest them and deport them, everybody. No one was getting screened at that point. We thought that was a pretty reasonable way to be able to address it, that people were getting a shot to request asylum, but if the system is overwhelmed, we're as a country is not just overrun, so we're running our country, not the cartels.
Mm-hmm. Turning a little bit to some of the reason why you're here today, I know you're talking to some business leaders here in Tulsa, and I know also that you're running for a Senate leadership position at the moment. And I'm wondering, besides maybe some obvious personal ambition, what do you think you could say about how a leadership role would help affect your constituency here in Oklahoma?
Yeah, it does have an impact just to be able to engage with the national conversation of how we're addressing the issues. There's a 5-person leadership group in the Senate among both parties, by the way, so there's 10 total leaders, 5 and 5 on it. That group of 5 should be able to hash out some of the, what are we doing, what are we trying to accomplish, what are our priorities, how are we trying to be able to communicate those things to be able to get them done. That group should have the ability to be able to hash some things out behind closed doors, make sure we're headed the right direction. It's beneficial to our state to have someone at the table that's hammering away on those issues to say, well, let's make sure our priorities are set. Much like Tom Cole being the chairman of appropriations is helpful to our state because we got somebody at the appropriations leadership that's thinking about Oklahoma and what the primary federal needs are here in Oklahoma. To have someone in the Senate on the leadership table hammering away, saying there are certain priorities that we need to be able to take care of on national defense, on the economy, on immigration, I think is helpful to us.
So let me change the subject a little bit. Middle East,
Yeah.
which is something you've been involved in since you've been there, and it seems like the sticking point for a lot of people in this country are what happens to the Palestinians. What do we do with the Palestinians? Everybody sort of is one way or the other behind Israel, but they're worried about the Palestinians. So what's the answer there?
So, yeah. So I can just give you a simple 2-minute answer.
Yeah,
to the
right. I
Palestinian
knew
dilemma.
that you'd have that down pat.
So let me give you a couple things just in context. I think we are nearing the end of the war in Gaza. Mm-hmm. Israel has achieved almost all of its military goals except 2. Sinwar is still there, who is the one who really started this war and is the lead military and now political leader for Hamas. As long as Sinwar is still alive or not captured or arrested, this is going to be an ongoing war because they're going to take it to the person who started this war in the first place. They also have over 100 hostages that are still being held by Hamas. Until they get Sinwar and until they actually get their hostages back, they're not going to slow down the war in that spot. But they have achieved almost everything else except for those two things. So it's important they achieve those things and we get an end to the war. They still have Hezbollah from the north and Lebanon still firing rockets at them all the time. Palestinian issue is not just a Palestinian issue in Gaza and the West Bank. It's internationally. As you know well, because you research this as well, the Palestinians are not welcome in Saudi Arabia, they're not welcome in Jordan, they're not welcome in Lebanon, they're not welcome in Egypt. Those countries are also limiting their access to be able to move into those countries. The Egyptians have a fence between Gaza and Egypt, just like Israel has a fence between Gaza and Israel. And people lose track of that. The Egyptians don't want the Palestinians moving into Egypt either. In Lebanon, Palestinians have no freedom of movement at all. They are literally limited in camps, and they've been there for 75 years, where their families live and grow up and function in that camp and can't leave at all because the Lebanese government doesn't want the Palestinians there either. Ultimately, the Palestinian leadership has got to be able to determine what is going to be their relationship with Israel. How are they going to normalize that relationship? What does that look like for them before they have any freedom of movement anywhere in the world? So that has to be an issue that has to be resolved. It's been hanging out there for 75 years unresolved, but that's going to be Palestinians have got to be able to drive their own destiny. Short term, I'd like to see the Saudis engage in Gaza to be able to help rebuild hospitals, to help rebuild their educational system there, so that they can have some kind of normalization. The Saudis can form a partnership with them to be able to help in that process. The Israelis are forming a more and more of a normalization relationship with Saudi Arabia to be able to recognize them, each other. And so I think that would be the short-term gain for Gaza, but long-term they've got to have their own indigenous leadership to be able to actually make that function, and they've got to be able to recognize Israel's right to exist or the war will never end.
So elections are another thing high on your list, and we recently had to deal with the Iranians trying to get into both presidential campaigns. This is something you know something about. What do you tell people? What do they need to watch for, be worried about?
So, yeah, in 2016, the Russians did try to get into the Oklahoma election system. We were one of the 21 states the Russians specifically targeted. They didn't get in our system. They basically got to a locked door and moved on and couldn't get through to our system on that. That's a good thing for us. We've improved our systems even since 2016. We need to continue to do that. The flip side of that, the North Koreans and the Iranians especially are very active at cyber hacking and trying to be able to do influence operations, as well as the Russians that I've already mentioned. They're very active in trying to find ways to be able to influence elections. The Chinese are doing this to the Taiwanese all the time right now. The Taiwanese just had an election. The Chinese were doing massive operations on social media and hacking to try to influence that election. People should pay attention to it. I have a basic thing that I repeat all the time. It's a famous quote from Abraham Lincoln, when Abraham Lincoln once said, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet." Okay, it's this sense of people just see stuff on social media and think immediately that's true, and they'll see even some reports and they'll think that's factual, and it's not. The latest trick that's being done by a lot of these nation states is they're like Russia, they're standing up what looks like an American media source. So instead of it being called the Tulsa World, they'll create the Tulsa Globe online, and they'll populate it with news stories, but all from a Russian perspective on it. And people will see the story and assume it's a real American media source, and it's not. It's being created by a Russian source to have a Russian perspective on that. People need to know that everything they see on social media and online is not factual, and if it doesn't smell right, there may be a reason for that. If it's just feeding their biases, it's probably division that's being sown by Russian fake media that they're trying to be able to sow division on that. But for the Iranians, they're functioning differently. They're trying to get into campaigns, pull out information, try to affect the election by releasing things that shouldn't be released.